Hi everyone, welcome to Miss Adams Predicts Jekyll and Hyde. In this video we're going to be focusing on the Edexcel exam board, so that's Literature Paper 2A. I'm going to take you through all of the extracts that have come up so far so we can see if there are any chapters that we've not seen yet, just for you to practice with. And then I'll take you through the themes and the characters over the last few years and specimens, and we'll see if we can spot any trends or patterns to give you a steer. Please make sure that you revise broadly and widely, because prediction videos are great for giving you a steer, but they're never a certain, because exam boards have got to be unpredictable. Otherwise, everyone would just guess and then, focus their revision in. So make sure that you're covering a good range across character and theme and you'll be golden. But for now, let's get predicting. Okay, so let's have a little look at the extracts that have come up in the last few years and on the samples. So, one of the areas that I love teaching and I think is so great to write on is the remarkable incident of Dr. Lanyon, and that chapter has not come up at all so far. So that's quite a good one to practice with because there's so much going on in there. So I definitely, when you're doing your practice, have a go at that. Now, last year we had full statement of the case, but full statement of the case is so big, there is nothing stopping them just choosing another section. I mean, it's ridiculous how long it is in comparison to the rest of the chapters. So I wondered if maybe sort of towards the end of the novel might be interesting, like looking at actually the ending passages and how Jekyll's presented in the narrative. That could be quite cool as well. In terms of like big moments, just like I said with the remarkable incident, we've not had Carrie murder. I mean, we've had the chapter, don't get me wrong, in the sample, the setting question was based on that journey to Hyde's house and it was about atmosphere. But we've not actually had the bit where Hyde kills Carew. And, even the story of the door and the trampling of the little girl, that was in the specimen text. So we've not had like any of the kind of really big moments of violence in the extract. So I play around with that. The only other thing that I kind of thought about is the fact that although we have had obviously Utterson in the extract, we've not actually had a question focusing on Utterson and how he's presented. So, you could even get the very beginning of the story, beginning of the novella, if just as I said, you could get the end of that passage that looks at him. But, it's impossible to like predict extract. But, when you're practicing, just look at these areas because they haven't come up, and who knows, you might be really lucky. Okay, so in terms of the wider questions, so in this part of the paper, you can get character or theme, so slightly harder to predict for that reason. So we've had two themes, then we recently, bad behaviour, friendships, we had Hyde in 2021, how gorgeous a question is that. We've had significance of Utterson. So in terms of character, we've not had Dr. Lanyon, we've not had Dr. Jekyll. Now, last year's question was bad behaviour, so I'm sure lots of people probably just wrote about Hyde, but of course there was so much room to talk about Jekyll and Jekyll's kind of moral compass and all of his motivations for doing everything that he does. So perhaps Dr. Jekyll is less likely. And to those of you who are thinking, oh, is there enough to write on Dr. Lanyon? There certainly is, if you actually kind of trace through the references to him, the way he's presented in chapter 2 and how much he reveals, how much Stevenson foreshadows what's to come through the way that he talks about Jekyll. And then, of course, you've got remarkable incident and his narrative at the end. In terms of themes, some big and slightly harder ones. So we still haven't had duality, which is obviously the driving force of this novella. So I would definitely look at that. I also think that the significance of science might be worth a little look at as well. And obviously if you're revising Lanyon, you'll be revising science. So that's quite a kind of double, that's a double win. And then I wondered about transformations. And when I say transformations, I mean, it could be about change, changing from one kind of state to another. It doesn't have to be just Hyde, Jekyll, Jekyll, Hyde. You could look at the way that Utterson changes, the way that Lanyon changes. There's a lot you could do with it. As always, no crystal ball, no guarantees. So make sure that you're revising broadly, make sure you're revising widely, that you're covering all of your bases. Best way of doing that is make sure that all of your where you're learning quotations or thinking about textual references, that those areas cover a wide range of themes, and that's a good way of doing it. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying these series of predictions, do subscribe. That'd be absolutely super duper. Thank you so, so much. And obviously share the videos, help out your buddies too. Good luck with your revision and good luck with the 2024 exams.